Died on the night my fiancé kicked me out of the car. When the rusty dagger pierced me, I was still holding the phone tightly, trying to ask Andrew Baker for help. Andrew was my fiancé. Hello, the number you dialed is currently unavailable. As I listened to the call being hung up, the last bit of hope in my eyes died out. The next second, with a hideous grin, the man stabbed the dagger into my heart. On a deserted, unfamiliar path, I lay there alone, with my eyes wide open in fear. Blood flowed from my chest, taking my life with it. Andrew and I just got engaged. My parents were still waiting for me at home. My younger brother said he wanted to make a speech at my wedding. I felt like I was getting lighter, and my soul was peeling away from my body bit by bit. My soul wandered uncontrollably. I was dead. I died on the night Andrew kicked me out of the car. My soul drifted to Ava Davis's house, a girl who had been loved by my fiancé. Ava curled up in Andrew's arms, sleeping soundly. Andrew lowered his head and lovingly stroked Ava's hair. Then he picked up his phone, looked at my missed calls, and frowned. I suddenly laughed, and my soul seemed to be broken. It turned out that Andrew didn't answer my call because he was trying to comfort Ava to sleep. Andrew, if you knew this was the last call I would make to you for help, will you regret that you missed my call? I thought. Andrew and I had been in a back-and-forth relationship for 5 years, and today, we finally got engaged. When Andrew was driving me back to my parents' house for dinner, he received a call from Ava. Ava got drunk in the bar and called Andrew. After I found out it was Ava's call, I had a big fight with Andrew because of Ava's call. He left me halfway and turned around to pick up Ava, but he didn't know that while he was comforting Ava to sleep, a madman was stabbing me repeatedly. Andrew replied to my message, but he didn't get my reply after a long time. I couldn't respond. My body was probably already cold on that deserted path. My soul was pressed against the window, watching Andrew turn off his phone. He seemed to want to hold Ava in his arms, but when he looked at the wedding ring on his ring finger, he hesitated. I didn't have a heart anymore, but could feel the pain. It turned out that Andrew still had feelings for Ava. Even after getting engaged to me, he could still lie in the same bed with her. Andrew, you are disgusting, I thought. The next day, Andrew came to the company. I floated behind him unimpeded, and the people in the company passed through my soul. Andrew frowned, his whole body exuding coldness. He listened to the work arrangements absent-mindedly, checking the phone from time to time. The secretary who was reporting his schedule thought he was dissatisfied with his work. Mr. Baker. Andrew turned off his phone. It's nothing, just continue. What was he waiting for? Waiting for me to give in and call him like I usually do? But Andrew, where were you when I needed you the most? I thought. At noon, Andrew put down the documents and called the secretary's extension. Why hasn't lunch been delivered yet? Andrew cooked for Ava in the morning, and rushed to the company without having time to eat. Unexpectedly, the lunch today was particularly delayed. The secretary was startled. Mr. Baker, you never let us take care of your lunch. In the past, your lunch was always delivered by Ms. Brown. I stood beside the table and watched Andrew suddenly clench his fists. He never knew that his lunch was always carefully prepared by me. He was picky about food and had a weak stomach. I took classes to learn how to cook, and had learned to cook so many dishes. I asked someone to deliver lunch to his company every day. Andrew hung up the phone in anger. You'd better never reply to my messages. There was a framed photo on his desk, a picture of us together on our second anniversary. He poked my face in the photo with a pen and reluctantly touched it. Then he turned the stuffed doll I gave him upside down. He often said that this doll was like me, always by his side. Every time I made him angry, he would punish the doll by making it stand upside down. Olivia, you have to stay with me forever, like this doll. I cried silently. Ava hadn't returned at that time, and there was no crack in our relationship. I thought I would be Andrew's favorite woman. But 2 years ago, Ava returned from abroad. Ava was Andrew's high school classmate. They had an intense love-hate relationship from high school to college. In the end, Ava married a rich man and went abroad, and they chose to break up. Ava was his Achilles heel. Every time Andrew recalled something about Ava, his eyes were filled with hatred. He said the person he hated most was Ava, the woman who betrayed their love. I didn't understand it at that time. If it weren't for deep love, how could there be such intense hatred? 2 years ago, Ava divorced the rich man and returned home. After that, Andrew secretly picked Ava up and dropped her off from work. He celebrated Ava's birthday and he bought Ava the limited edition bag that I had been waiting for a long time. Someone told me about this, so we quarreled again and again. Then I compromised again and again, but our last quarrel was the final one. He kicked me out of the car to pick up Ava and I died that night. Andrew returned to our house. What greeted him was not the sumptuous meals and warm lights as usual. He turned on the light and called my name in the hallway. There was no response. Andrew threw down his suit, hesitating for a long time, and sent a message to me, but no one responded. Olivia, stop messing around and come back soon. Then, he dialed my number. I'm sorry, the number you dialed?